Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited for today's video. I am filming a 3 looks with 1 palette and I am using the new Pure X rawbeautykristi eyeshadow palette. So this palette was a trip and a half to get. I spent 10 hours on the Pure website waiting to pick this bad boy up, and I thought I wouldn't be able to get it, so I had given up, and then I got a confirmation email saying that I had gotten it. So then it showed up and I was super excited, and I haven't done a 3 looks 1 palette on my channel before. I figured this was the perfect palette to start with. So in today's look, we are coming up with this little look using obviously the neutral side of the palette. I kind of stuck to these mustardy tones over here. The other 2 looks will be using the more colorful side of the palette, but I am also going to be doing a palette series on my makeup Instagram account, which is at emily.kathryn, Kathryn. If you are interested in doing that, I will be doing 5 looks with the neutral side and 5 looks with the colorful side. So if you are interested in that, go ahead and follow me on my Instagram so you can see those whenever they are up. And let's jump right into this first look using the Pure X rawbeautykristi eyeshadow. So I'm going to start by priming my eyes with the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer in the shade Chantilly. And then I am going to set that concealer down using my Rimmel Stay Matte powder. The moment I've been waiting for, the palette. So I think today the look that I want to do is I want to use these 3 shades here that are like the more mustardy tones in this palette with this shade in the middle popped on the lid. That is the plan. Who knows if that's actually what is going to end up happening, but that's what the plan is. So I'm going to start by taking the shade Camelot on a fluffy brush, and when I dipped my brush in there, there was a little bit of kick up, but that is not something that particularly bothers me. And I'm just going to throw this shade all through the crease kind of messily. And I don't want to start with a bunch of this shade, I just want a nice little wash of color through the crease. Next, I'm going to take the next mid-tone shade down here, which is the shade Copper Boxes. And I'm going to put that a little bit lower in my crease. This is going to be a really basic eye look, but I am doing 3 looks with this palette over the next 2 days after this, you know, so they will get more exciting. I plan on having the other 2 looks be more colorful looks, and I'm just so excited to play with this palette. And I am going to be doing a little palette series with this palette on my makeup Instagram account, which is emily.kathryn, Kathryn, and I plan on doing 10 looks with this palette, 5 on the colorful side, 5 on the neutral side. So if you are interested in seeing those, you can go follow me on my Instagram. I'm going to take the shade called B, which is this darker brown with a mustard tone to it, and I'm going to put that in the outer corner of my eye. So I'm just going to take this shade on the outer corner of my eye here. See, I have my camera set up on a swivel chair. Probably won't do this ever again. Last night we were talking about how Kona hadn't pooped in the new apartment yet. But you know what? I think he has been pooping and she's just been eating it fresh out of his butt. I'm dipping back into Camelot to blend some of that back over everything. And then I'm gonna go back in with B, build that up a little bit. Back in with Copper Boxes. And then I'm going to take my finger to apply the shade Golden Ticket, which is the gold shimmery shade right here in the middle. Ooh. That is so nice. That shade is so pretty. I'm again going to take some more of Copper Boxes and kind of blend the Golden Ticket shade out just a little bit more. To highlight my brow bone, I'm going to go in with the shade My Whole Heart and just pop that right along here. And I'm going to go off camera to do the rest of my makeup and put on some liner and do my lashes, brows, lips, all that stuff, and I will come back to show you the final completed look. Oh, I actually forgot I have to finish off the eyeshadow on my lower lash line, so I'm going to go in with the shade Copper Boxes and run that all along my lower lash line. So then I'm going to pick up the shade B on a little angled brush, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of wiggle that on my lower lash lines really close to my lashes, just so that it provides a little bit of definition and almost makes the lashes down there look a little bit fuller. Because as we all know, I hate putting mascara on my lower lashes because it just smudges everywhere. So if I can kind of get the look of fuller lower lashes without having to put on mascara, that's the American dream. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of the shade Golden Ticket on my little AOA Studio F16 brush for my inner corner highlight. And now the eyeshadow is officially finished, and I will come back after this to show you the finished look altogether. So this is the final look for the first look using my rawbeautykristi pure eyeshadow palette. I am super obsessed with the way that it turned out. Full details of this look will already be on my Instagram, and I will also have everything listed down in the description box. I do just want to share with you some of the key items that I did use on my face. So for highlighter, I used my Milk Makeup Flex highlighter in the shade Lit. This is one of my favorite highlighters of all time. And for my lips, I am wearing the ColourPop Creme lipstick in the shade Dr. Facilier, which is from the ColourPop X Disney Villains collection. So that is it for the first look. Let's get on to the time for look 2 from my 3 looks 1 palette video using the Pure X rawbeautykristi palette. As promised, today I'm going to be playing around with color. I have a little color palette set up on my hand of what I kind of want to use today, the little vibe I'm going for. Sorry about my dog barking. She's annoying me as well, but she won't stop today. I do have my eyelids primed and set already, so we are ready to just jump right into the makeup. So I'm going to start by taking the shade Golden State, which is this nice teal color. I said Golden State, it's definitely called Garden State. And I'm going to start popping that right into my crease. I really just blended that right into my actual eyeball. That felt awful. So that is where I'm going to keep that color for right now. I'm going to take a smaller brush. This is the ColourPop E19 brush. I'm going to take this shade down here at the bottom called Hurtful, and I'm going to start doing a halo eye shape with that color. So we'll start by putting it right out here in this outer corner. So I am noticing that these colors are pretty powdery when you pick them up in the pan, but that's not something I'm like upset about because I know that they are pressed pigments, so they're going to have that tendency to be a little bit more powdery than they would be if they were just normal pressed eyeshadows. I'm going to take the brush that we had Garden State on with no extra product and just kind of work on blending everything together. Like, I do just want to show you what I mean by powdery. Like, I want to show you what my shade Hurtful looks like. It looks like that after picking up that product. So next I'm going to take my Alamar Cosmetics little flat brush. The name is not on it. I'm going to pick up this shade called Cafe Disco right here in the middle. It's a really gorgeous light shimmery pink color, and I'm going to start applying that to the open space we left on our lids. And I am doing this intentionally. I did not think that it would apply at its best opacity with a brush, but I want to get the edges really blended and light almost, so then I can just add a pop of that shade right in the middle where I want it to be the brightest and most pigmented. With my finger, actually. Pop that right in there with my little finger. I actually am really enjoying how this is turning out. I am going to put a little bit of eyeliner on today. For eyeliner, I'm going to be using this Sugar Cosmetics Wingman Waterproof Microliner in the shade I'll Be Black. I kind of don't like that name. Like, I get that it's a reference to I'll Be Back, but it sounds a little iffy. That is the eyeliner done. I'm going to hop off camera and put my base makeup on. If you are interested in knowing what I used, I will have all the products that I use listed down below in the description box, but I am going to pop off camera just to put that on, and we'll come back for bronzer, highlighter, and blush. Alright, so my base is on. I also just did my eyebrows. Sorry if the angle of the camera or the lighting looks a tiny bit different than the last clip. I just took a little break to set up my internet. Didn't even get it working, but that's okay. We'll get there. For bronzer today, I'm going to be using my Benefit Hoola bronzer, and I'm just going to do the wave technique today, which is a technique I learned from Julia Adams here on YouTube. And for blush, I once again am using my Ace Beaute Blushed in Paradise palette. I think I'm gonna go with this one today. I'm going to take my little Elmar Cosmetics complexion brush. I like that. I like that, like that. And then for highlighter, why am I doing all this when I haven't even finished my eyes? Let me finish my eyes real quick. I'm getting so excited. So, first of all, my cat is like right here behind my little light. Sir? So to start, I'm just going to take this little brush that I used first in my crease with the shade Garden State. I'm going to put like one single tap in the palette of Garden State on the brush, and then tap it off and start blending that down here on this lower lash line of mine. And honestly, I think that's all I'm going to do to the lower lash line. For my mascara, I'm going to be using this little sample of the Benefit Their Real Mascara. And I am going to apply this off camera because mascara for me takes a very long time. So I will be right back. My mascara is on, so now I'm going to highlight my inner corner and my brow bone on this super old little ColourPop brush here. I'm going to take this white shade called Lumos and take just a little bit of that because I know that this is super highly pigmented, and I'm going to use that to highlight my brow bone. I also think that this will help blur the edges of the kind of tealy blue eyeshadow look, just to help it look even more blended than it already is. And then I'm going to take my little AOA Studio F16 brush, which is my favorite brush to highlight my inner corner with, and I'm going to take the shade Cafe Disco again and pop that right here in the inner corner. Alright, so those are the eyes completely done, and we're actually almost done with the face because I was wilding out and did my face before I finished my eyes. So I am going to talk about my little highlighting brush that I've been using real quick just because it is a weird situation. So this is the ColourPop E15 brush, and it was a super fluffy blending brush similar to this. As you can see, it is not that anymore. What happened is my dog got a hold of it and chewed it and kind of flattened it out. So now it's like this little fan brush, and instead of being upset about it, I was like, just use it to highlight your face, dummy. So that's what I've been doing. So I'm going to start by taking some of this Hourglass Vanish highlighting stick in the shade Champagne Flash to highlight my face with. And I like to start with a brush, and then if I feel like I need a little more, I'll go in with my finger with this product. And I do want just a little bit more, so I'm just going to take my little finger and kind of pat that in here. And then for my lips, I'm going to start by lining them with my Beauty Vault lip liner in the shade Kozy Kira. And then I'm going to blend that top line out with my finger. To fill that in for my lipstick, I'm taking this Bare Minerals lipstick in the shade Honesty. And this is the shade that I had swatched out next to these. I thought that it would look good with a little bit of a darker lip liner. Kind of giving me 80s vibes, but I really enjoy it. And then to set everything in place, I'm going to be taking my Ciate Everyday Vacay Coconut Setting Spray. And this is look number 2 completely done. I really love the way that it turned out. I love this little halo eye. I love the way that Cafe Disco looks in the middle of my lid, and hopefully you enjoyed this second look as well. I will be back tomorrow with the third. Alright guys, it is day 3 of my 3 looks using one palette featuring the Pure and rawbeautykristi eyeshadow palette. I'm going to play around with more color today, and I'm thinking I kind of want to play with these 3 right here. So this kind of like teal turquoisey shade, the purple and the pink, just because I think that those 3 would look really pretty together. So what I'm going to start by doing is taking my ColourPop E16 brush with the teal turquoise shade called Garden State, and I'm going to start by placing that right here, kind of in the inner corner of my eye. And I'm going to blend it a little bit, but I'm not going to fully blend it. We will do most of the blending later because I'm going to kind of fade these 3 colors into each other. I'm gonna switch to a different brush. This is the ColourPop E17 brush. It's kind of stained blue, but I did just clean it off on the back of my hand pretty well, so it should work okay. And I'm taking the purple shade now called Tribute and placing that right next to Garden State in my crease and slightly blending these 2 shades together, but not fully blending them again because I want to get the color mainly placed where I want it to be before I do most of the blending. I'm going to take another brush now. This one is a bit fluffier. This is the Lavish Tapered Blending Brush, and I'm picking up the hot pink shade called Side Effect. For this one, I'm going to put it right out here in this outer corner and then blend it onto my lid just a little bit. Now I'm going to go back into the brushes that I used for the first colors and start blending the edges, but I'm not adding any more product. I'm literally just blending the edges with them. And it is going pretty high up to my brow bone, but since this is more of a almost like watercolor, like slightly more fun editorial look, I'm okay with it being almost everywhere. And I think I'm going to pick up quite a bit of Side Effect and start packing it right here, just because I feel like it's not as vibrant as I want it to be. So the edges up here, especially on this eye, are a little bit messier than I want them to be. So what I'm going to do is take a clean, really fluffy brush, and I'm going to take the white in the palette called Lumos and take a little bit of that on this brush and cap it off, and then just start blending over the edges. I think that looks a lot better. It looks a lot more smooth than this eye does. Okay, so I'm actually going to do a little bit of a cut crease, like a half cut crease. So I'm gonna be taking my NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. This is what I used to prime my eyes. And then I'm going to be taking this Almar Cosmetics brush. That's just this like flat little paddle brush. And I'm not taking it all the way out here, and I did take it up a little bit higher in the crease than I did here because I want that pink to almost be on an angle. For the lid shade, I'm going to take the shade called Cafe Disco, which is the really pretty light pink shimmery shade, and I'm going to use that same brush and start packing it onto the cut space on my lid. And this shade to me doesn't have a lot of base color, so it's really just like shimmery and iridescent, and I just think it's gonna look really pretty when it catches the light like perfectly. And when I get to the edge of where the concealer on my lid ends, I'm just going to fade it into the pink. And I am going to go back over with some of the pink just to blend it even more. So I'm going to go back into this brush that we used with the hot pink, and I'm going to start blending the edges of that cut crease area, packing on some more color, and just making sure that everything is really fades into each other nicely. I really am enjoying the way this look is turning out. So I'm going to head off camera now and do my base makeup, and my eyebrows, and I will come back to finish off the lower lash line and put on mascara and all that and finish off the rest of my makeup on camera. All right, so I have done my base makeup, my brows, my bronzer, so we're going to finish up the eyes. I'm actually just going to use the 3 brushes that I used for my crease work, so I'm going to start by taking that shade Golden. No, I'm actually going to start with the pink Side Effect, and I'm going to blend that out here on the outer third of my lower lash line, and I'm basically just going to do the same thing to my lower lash line that I did in my upper crease. Start with the pink, blend that into purple, blend that into the teal turquoise shade. Then I'm going to highlight my brow bone with the white shade called Lumos. So I'm going to go off camera and do my liner and lashes. I'll be doing a thin black line on my upper lash line, lining my waterline, and then doing my eyelashes. All the products I use will be listed down below in the description box if you are curious. So I am going to take some of the shade Cafe Disco for my inner corner highlight. And now we are going to finish up our face now that the eyes are done. I'm going to be taking my ColourPop Pressed Powder Blush in the shade Good Luck Charm. This is from the Mulan collection. There are a few products that I am currently kind of testing out for an upcoming product review video, and this is one of them. So in some upcoming videos, you might be seeing me use kind of some more of the same products just because I am testing them out. For my highlights, I'm going to be taking my Hourglass Vanish Stick Highlight in the shade Champagne Flash. And then I didn't actually decide what I want to use on my lips today. I just don't know. So let me decide real quick and I will come back to show you what I decided on. So I decided on something pretty boring, something that I have been using, and I think I even wore this combo in an earlier look in this video. So I'm just going to be taking my NYX lip liner in the shade Natural, my favorite lip liner, and on top of that I will be taking my Dominique Cosmetics lip gloss in the shade Strawberry Lemonade. And this is the finished and final look using the Pure and Raw Beauty Kristi eyeshadow palette. I have really enjoyed playing around with this palette. The first look that I did was a first impressions, and honestly, I think this palette is beautiful. Obviously, I haven't used every single shade in this palette yet, but I will, and then I will touch back with you guys in a mini product review video, and I think that is it. I will have everything that I used for each individual look listed down in the description box. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is definitely my favorite look that I did out of the 3, even though I did love all 3 looks that I did. That is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video before you go, and subscribe to me if you please, and hopefully I will see you in my next one. Bye!